Fighting with the swords, gone. Playing with the brain, on. Let's play Giraffe Chess Hattrick League Season 3.
International Giraffe Chess Federation presents Hattrick League Season 3 between 10 Proddatur teams. Hello everyone, welcome to India's new 68 squared Giraffe Chess Academy Proddatur and welcome to the live telecast of no draws, no resigns, only win or lose in just 70 moves Giraffe Chess Hattrick League 2024 Season 3. Let us watch Hattrick League 42nd match between Proddatur Lions versus Proddatur Gladiators. Each team consists of 3 players. Whoever team all outs opponent all 3 players is the match winners. Let us see the toss at the center of the court.
Head is the call from the Proddatur Lions. So tails, toss won by the Proddatur Gladiators. What you will select? Black side, white side. And elected to play. Elected to play on black
And
side.
in the toss, Proddatur Gladiators team won the toss and opted to play on black side. And here is the both teams lineup. For Proddatur Lions team, Dinesh is the opener and Lohit is the second player and Ramcharan comes to play as third player. And for Proddatur Gladiators team, Sufyan is the opener and Ishwar is the second player and Jay Bhargav Reddy comes to play as third player. Now, let us watch first game of the match between Proddatur Lions team opening player Dinesh versus Proddatur Gladiators team opening player Sufyan. Let us see among these 2 players who will win this game and who will do hat-trick and who will be the hat-trick hero of today's great match. Let us watch. Let us move on to the court. One-time hat-trick hero, young scholar awardee, Proddatur Lions team opening player Dinesh is ready to play on white side. Let us see on other side of the court. Little scholar awardee, Proddatur Gladiators team opening player Sufyan is ready to play on black side.
Now we can see both players are ready to start game 1 of the match. Black side player Sufyan is ready to hit the clock. Yes, he hit the clock. Game 1 started.
Knight to f3, pawn to e6, pawn to e4, knight to f6, pawn to d4, pawn to d5, pawn captured, pawn to d5, pawn captured, pawn to d5, pawn to c4, pawn to c6, pawn capture, pawn to d5, knight capture, pawn to d5, knight to c3, knight to b4, queen to e2 and check 2, blocking, bishop to e6, pawn to d5, pawn captured, pawn to d5, queen to b5 and check 2, blocking, bishop to d7, queen capture, knight at b4, bishop captured, queen at b4, bishop to d2, bishop to d6, knight to c5, giraffe to e6, knight to d4, knight to c6, knight capture knight at c6, bishop capture knight at c6, knight to f4, queen to c7, giraffe to c3, pawn to g5, knight to d3, giraffe capture knight to d3, giraffe capture bishop to d6, giraffe capture giraffe to d6, bishop capture giraffe to d3, queen to e7 and check to white king, king to d1, bishop to a4 and check to white king, pawn to b3, bishop to c6, pawn to f3, pawn to b5, bishop to e4, bishop captured bishop at e4, pawn captured bishop at e4, queen to e5, bishop to c1, queen to d4 and check to white king, bishop to d2, queen capture rook at a1 and check to white king, bishop to c1, rook to c8, king to d2, rook to f8, bishop to d0, pawn to f5, pawn to e5, pawn to g4, pawn captured giraffe at d6, pawn to f4, rook capture queen at a1, pawn to f3, rook to a1 and check to black king, king to f7, rook to e7 and check to black king, king to g6, rook to e6 and check to black king, king to g7, king to d3, rook to e8, pawn to d7, king to g8, rook capture rook at e8 and check to black king, king to g7, pawn capture rook at c8, king to h6, rook to e6 and check to black king, king to g7, queen to d7 and check to black king, king to g8.
Now Dinesh
Rook to e8
immediately
and check
moved
to
his
black king
rook to
and it's a
e8
checkmate.
and said check to black king. It is not only check, it is a checkmate win to Dinesh. What a superb checkmate win to Dinesh. Sufyan out. Proddatur Gladiators team opening player Sufyan out. And with this win, Dinesh, he won the first game and still need 2 more wins to do hat-trick and become hat-trick hero of today's great match.
Now, let us watch second game of the match between Proddatur Gladiators team second player Ishwar versus Proddatur Lions team opening player Dinesh. Let us see among these two players who will win this game and who will do hat-trick and who will be the hat-trick hero of today's great match. Among these two players, Dinesh already won the first game and now playing for winning second game. Let us watch what will happen. Let us move on to the court. One-time hat-trick hero and scholar awardee Proddatur Lions team opening player Dinesh is ready to play on black side. Let us see on other side of the court. One-time hat-trick hero, best scholar awardee Proddatur Gladiators team second player Ishwar is ready to play on white side.
Now we can see both players are ready to start game 2 of the match. Black side player Dinesh is ready to hit the clock. Yes, he hit the clock. Game 2 started.
Pawn to e3, pawn to f5, pawn to h3, pawn to e5, knight to f3, queen to e7, bishop to d3, pawn to f4, giraffe to c3, pawn to e4, Bishop captured pawn at e4. Queen captured bishop at e4. Knight to g5. Queen to g6. Pawn captured pawn at f4. Giraffe to d6. Giraffe captured giraffe at d6. Bishop captured giraffe at d6. Queen to e2. Knight to e7. Pawn to g3. Pawn to h6. Knight to e4. Pawn to b6. Giraffe to f3. Queen to f7. Pawn to d3. Bishop to b7. Knight to c3. Bishop to b4. Bishop to d2. Bishop captured knight to c3. Bishop captured bishop at c3. Bishop captured knight at e4. Queen captured bishop at e4. Pawn to d5. Queen to e5. Knight to c6. Queen captured pawn at c7. Pawn to d4. Bishop to d2. Giraffe to e6. Giraffe captured giraffe at e6. Queen captured giraffe at e6 and check to white king. King to d1. Rook to c8. Rook capture queen at e6. Knight to d8. Rook to e4. Pawn to g5. Pawn capture pawn at g5. Pawn capture pawn at g5. Bishop capture pawn at g5. Rook capture pawn at h3. Rook capture pawn at d4. Rook to h1 and check to white king. King to t2. Rook capture rook at a1. King to e3. Rook to e1 and check to white king. King to f4. Knight to e6 and check to white king. King to g4. Knight capture rook at d4. King to h5. Rook to h1 and check to white king. King to g7. Rook to c8. King to f7. Rook to h8. King to g7. Rook to h7 and check to white king. King capture rook at h7. King to d6. King to g7. King to d5. King to f7. Rook to c7. King to e8.
Now we can see Ishwar is just one step away to win
Rook
by
to
crowning.
c8
Yes,
and
he
check to white
moved
king.
his
King to
king
e9,
to
crowning
e9 and won the game by crowning. What a superb crowning win to Ishwar. Dinesh out. Proddatur Lions team opening player Dinesh out, and he disappointed that he lost the hat-trick chance, and whereas Ishwar he got the hat-trick chance. Ishwar he won the first game and still need two more wins to do hat-trick and become hat-trick hero of today's great match.
Now, let us watch third game of the match between Proddatur Lions team second player Lohit Reddy versus Proddatur Gladiators team second player Ishwar. Let us see among these two players who will win this game and who will do hat-trick and who will be the hat-trick hero of today's great match. Among these two players, Ishwar already won the first game and now playing for winning second game. Let us see what will happen. Let us move on to the court. One-time hat-trick hero, best scholar awardee, Proddatur Lions team second player Lohit Reddy is ready to play on white side. Let us see on other side of the court. One-time hat-trick hero, best scholar awardee, Proddatur Gladiators team second player Ishwar is ready to play on black side.
Now we can see both players are ready to start game 3 of the match. Black side player Ishwar is ready to hit the clock. Yes, he hit the clock. Game 3 started.
Pawn to e4. Pawn to e6. Knight to f3. Knight to f6. Giraffe to d3. Knight capture pawn at e4. queen to e2, knight to f6, pawn to h3, giraffe to c6, giraffe to g4, pawn to h5, giraffe to d3, giraffe captured giraffe at d3, queen captured giraffe at d3, bishop to d6, giraffe to e3, knight to d5, giraffe captured bishop at d6, giraffe captured giraffe at d6, knight to g1, knight to f4, queen to f3, knight to d5, queen to d1, knight to c6, knight to f3, giraffe to g5, pawn to d3, giraffe to d6, knight to c3, giraffe captured knight at c3, pawn captured giraffe at c3, knight captured pawn at c3, queen to d2, knight to d5, pawn to d4, queen to f6, queen to d0, pawn to e5, bishop to g5, queen to f5, bishop to d3, queen to e6, pawn to h4, pawn to e4, bishop to e2, pawn capture knight to f3, pawn captured pawn to f3, pawn to f6, bishop to c1, knight to c3, castling at king side, knight captured bishop at e2 and check to white king, king to g2, knight capture queen at d0, bishop capture knight at d0, knight capture pawn at d4, rook to e1, knight to e2, king to f1, queen to h3 and check to white king, king capture knight to e2, king to f7, king to d1, queen capture pawn at f3 and check to white king, king to e0, pawn to d6, rook to e3, queen to g2 and check to white king, king to e1, bishop to g4, king to d2, rook to e8, rook to g3, queen to d5 and check to white king, king to c1, queen to d1 and check to white king, king to b2, queen to d4 and check to white king, pawn to c3, queen captured bishop at d0 and check to white king, rook to c1, rook to e2 and check to white king, king to b1, bishop to f5 and check to white king, king to a1,
Ishwar immediately
queen
captured rook at c1 and
white
set
king,
check to white king.
and it's
It
a checkmate.
is not only check, and it is a checkmate win to Ishwar. Proddatur Lions team, second player Lohit out, and whereas Ishwar with this win he won continuously 2 games and still need one more win to do hat-trick and become hat-trick hero of today's great match.
Now, let us watch fourth game of the match between Proddatur Lions team last player Ramcharan Nayak versus Proddatur Gladiators team second player Ishwar. Let us see who will win this game. If Ishwar wins this game, it will be Hattrick to the Ishwar and he will be the Hattrick hero of today's great match. If Ramcharan Nayak wins this game, match will be tied with 2-all games and go for 5th game for result. Let us move on to the court. Little Scholar awardee Proddatur Lions team last player Ramcharan Nayak is ready to play on black side. Let us see on other side of the court. One-time Hattrick hero, Best Scholar awardee Proddatur Gladiators team second player Ishwar is ready to play on white side.
Now we can see both players are ready to start game 4 of the match. Black side player Ram Charan Nayak is ready to hit the clock. Yes, he hit the clock. Game 4 started.
Pawn to e3, pawn to e6, pawn to h3, pawn to f5, knight to f3, knight to h6, knight to e5, bishop to b6, knight to c4, bishop to e7, knight to e5, castling at king side, pawn to g4, knight to f7, knight capture knight at f7, rook capture knight at f7, pawn capture pawn at f5, pawn capture pawn at f5, rook to g1, bishop to h4, bishop to c4, giraffe to e6, giraffe to f3, rook to e7, giraffe capture giraffe at e6, pawn capture giraffe at e6, queen to h5, bishop to f6, giraffe to c3, giraffe to d6, giraffe to f4, bishop to d9, queen to f3, knight to c6, giraffe capture rook to e7, bishop capture giraffe to e7, queen to g3, knight to a5, bishop capture pawn to e6, bishop to f7, bishop capture bishop at f7 and check to black king capture bishop at f7, pawn to d3, queen to d7, knight to c3, giraffe capture knight at c3, queen capture pawn to g7 and check to black king to e8, queen capture giraffe at c3, queen to d6, queen capture knight at a5, queen to h2, rook to g3, queen to h1 and check to white king to e2, rook to d8, pawn to e4, pawn to c6, rook to g8 and check to black king to d9, rook capture rook at d8 and check to black king, bishop capture rook at d8, queen captured pawn at f5, queen to h2, queen to f7 and check to black king
Now
to e9,
Ishwar immediately taken
bishop
his
to
bishop to
h6 and check to
h6
black king
and set
and
check
it's a
to
checkmate.
black king. It is not only check, it is a checkmate win to Ishwar. What a superb checkmate win to Ishwar. Ram Charan Nayak out. Proddatur Lions team, last player Ram Charan Nayak out. And with this out, Proddatur Lions team all out and lost the match. Whereas Ishwar, he won continuously 3 games and did a hat-trick and became hat-trick hero of today's great match. And this is his second hat-trick in a hat-trick league. Congratulations, 2 times hat-trick hero Ishwar.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Hattrick Hero cash prize ceremony. Just now we witnessed match number, very good and exciting match of Giraffe Chess Hattrick League 2024 Season 3. Match between Proddatur Gladiators versus Proddatur Lions. In that Proddatur Gladiators player, right now here, Ishwar, he did hat-trick in 121 moves. So first congratulations to Ishwar for doing hat-trick, that too very good hat-trick in 121 moves. Now International Giraffe Chess Federation giving away 500 rupees for the hat-trick hero. Now congratulations. Now on this occasion I would like to ask you a small interview. You did a hat-trick today. Now you out 3 players. The first player you out is by crowning Dinesh by 43 moves. So Dinesh is very good player. He participated in a hat-trick league 1 and 2 and 3rd one. So in outing that player, what is the very good move that you think?
43లో దినేష్ చేసిన తప్పు వల్ల నా కింగ్ని ఈ9లోకి జరిపి క్రౌనింగ్ ద్వారా ఈ గేమ్ని చాలా చాకచక్యంగా గెలవడం జరిగింది.
Very good. So that is the basic reason you even I too observed. By that only he won the game. And the second player is Lohit. He out by checkmate 44 moves. So Lohit is also very good player. He also did one hat-trick. You played of your complete focus. But among all those, that too by winning the checkmate is not easy, isn't it? So what is the best move?
44 మూవ్లో C1లో ఉన్న లోహిత్ యొక్క రూప్ని నా క్వీన్తో చంపడం ద్వారా అతన్ని సులభంగా చెక్మేట్ చేసి గెలవడం జరిగింది.
Very good. So that is the match winning move, game winning move. Let us move to the 3rd game. So do you feel any tension? Little bit. Why? Because of that is very crucial. Opposite player also very good player. So how you feel? Do you have any tension over in your brain?
I feel little bit tension because the 3 players are most
good players.
Because they did so much hat-tricks and so many points in Sunday title tournaments. So I feel so much tension while playing the 3rd game.
But even I too watched the 3rd game. In the beginning, you had taken so much time, but later on you come up with the fast move. So 3rd player Ramcharan Nayak, you out by 34 moves checkmate. The first 15 moves little bit slow, later on you pick up and correct moves. Among all correct moves, which is the best move?
In the last moves, Ramcharan Nayak moved his king to E9 and it makes easy for me to make checkmate in easily because I make them surrounded by little bit powers and I win those by checkmate.
Yes, exactly. Even I too saw that match. So very good hat-trick. You played very well. So finally I would like to ask you one question. So this is your first hat-trick in the hat-trick league. So whom you dedicate this hat-trick?
I dedicate this hat-trick to my friends and my family.
Very good. So do you have so many friends?
No sir. I have 2 friends who are encouraging me to play in this hat-trick. They are one Tejas and Jeshwan.
Very good. For the best wishes to your friends and thank you very much and having very good match today. Okay, thank you.
And finally, here is today's hat-trick hero, Ishwar's scorecard. In game 1, he outs Dinesh by crowning in 43 moves. In game 2, he outs Lohit by checkmate in 44 moves. And in game 3, he outs Ram Charan Nayak by checkmate in 34 moves. Totally, Ishwar did hat-trick in 121 moves. Congratulations hat-trick hero Ishwar. All the best for the next matches. And here is the points table of Giraffe Chess Hattrick League 2024 Season 3. Let us see what are the top 4 teams after finishing of 42 matches. Proddatur Spartans team with 16 points stands on first position. Proddatur Jaguars team with 14 points stands on second position. Proddatur Chirutas team with 12 points stands on third position. Proddatur Kings team with 10 points stands on fourth position. Each team after playing 9 matches, final points are calculated for top 4 positions. Top 4 teams only qualify for the final playoffs.